We're live.
Welcome all in one to another edition of Violent Wrestling Podcast. Yes, you did just hear us last night. Unfortunately, due to time constraints and stuff, we basically only talked about Fastlane when we wanted to talk about a whole lot more. So that's what we're going to do tonight. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Ambrose Alley,
Hello, everyone.
my other co-host Metal Matt.
Howdy.
Uh, Barry every once in a while has something to say, but usually stays in the background. Uh, Not really co-host, but and speak of the devil, perfect timing. Metal Matt's chair and our, our fourth co-host or our fourth member, Mr. Adam. Don't call me Odell Rice.
Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Well, sir, after what you
Wait for
just said
dinner.
before we went out there, you might want to be late for dinner.
That was. Uh, I won't go into the
Yeah,
gory
yeah,
details, but
we're on air. People
uh,
can hear.
yeah.
So instead of asking how your guys' week was, since we just spoke last night, how was everybody's day?
I'm in the middle of a blizzard.
Saw that.
And we're not talking like Dairy Queen Blizzard kind of stuff. We're talking about like Blizzard.
A blizzard.
Blizzard.
Oh God. Real quick,
Uh,
anybody have chat open? And then you guys can continue about your day because I'm gonna post a link in the daily.
I'll get it open.
Thank you.
hmm But you guys gotta give me
How
time to bring in comments.
if somebody's commenting, you shut us up and tell us what they're commenting.
exactly.
I've
Our,
tried at
our
times.
Yeah, we don't listen very well, and for that we apologize.
Adam doesn't listen very well, and Adam talks a lot.
Hey, I have half a year. Okay, half. It's got 2 years. Only half of them work. So
You're like, how are we so alike? Because I have two eyes, but I'm blind in one. So I have two eyes, only one of them works. You have two ears, only one. How are? That's a whole different conversation. Matt, how was your day?
because sir, before we get to Matt, we have an affinity for kiwis. That's why. Um,
Oh, sir, sir.
uh,
This is. We're gonna start off with. Okay. So anyway,
Matt,
Matt, how was your day?
That was pretty good.
Please save us, Matt. Save us.
if it's down to Matt, we're all screwed, and I mean that in the best way
Wait, what?
possible. Uh, did you work today, sir?
No, I was off today. Tomorrow I do. Tomorrow and Friday I work.
Sounds
Working
exciting.
9 to 5. What a way to
Way to
make a
make a
living.
living.
Well, not like
Well, tomorrow's
anybody
the other way
asked, but I'm
around.
just
I
gonna
work 5 to 9, but that's another story.
work working 5 to 9.
Really, that's it. Song is only half as long with less complaints. Working 5 to 9. Want want.
Yeah,
The night the lights went out.
you're
And
still on a. I think Rice is still on a. My Browns might not suck this year high, dude. Just wait.
Oh, I know. Like like I said in the daily, I expect everything. Like there's no singular idea I have here. I am fully aware, quite literally, anything and everything could happen. but I'm here for all of it because this is the first time in my lifetime where I've seen my team go for it. You could argue the merits of whether or not that's a smart idea, but this is like the first time in my life where I could see one of my teams really go for it because
When you
this,
say go for it, are you talking about going for bankrupt?
well, they're not going to be bankrupt.
He means the Rocky Five tagline. Go for it.
Sure.
Well, 3 games in the season, you're going to be doing, Adrian, somebody help us.
Yo,
Um, for
Adrian.
for whatever reason, I can't get the my YouTube's messing up, so I can't copy it and post it in the daily. If anybody else wants to cover me on that. Um, Anywho, so my day's been.
Well, I mean, Robert, you know what to say. I mean, you can't tune a but you can't tune a fish.
Get out.
Oh, mute him right now.
There's a list of people you need to apologize to. But the list is so long, we don't have that kind of time. Wow. So,
Let's get into Raw.
Sure.
do we?
Nobody gives a fuck how my day was. Yay!
Oh, of
How
course.
was your day, sir?
Let's get into Raw.
Nope, we all.
Just
How was your
I'm
day?
not gonna get into details. You guys all know. Today's 1 year since I lost my mom, so it's been that kind of day. So
Sorry, Mox.
yeah. Um, let's talk about something worse. Let's talk about Raw.
Hey, they maintained
Was that
viewership this week.
was that too bad of a jab?
No, no. Because quite literally, Raw, it like I said, it retained viewership this week, but it makes me wonder why. Because there was that drop, that third hour drop didn't really happen.
Right.
So,
It had the Shield. That's why.
yeah, that really does kind of explain it. But it's still a chore. Even when people are tuning in and they're not going away, I'm sure a lot of people who sat there through that whole show were thinking, why is this such a damn chore?
And it really is becoming like I say becoming like it has been
Yes.
excuse me. Like yeah, it's entertainment and I don't hate watch WWE or anything, but man, the 3 hours just sometimes seem to drag by. So damn it, is it Tuesday? Like it
I re-
feels like
I remember I sitting at home on Monday going, is today Tuesday? And when I realized it wasn't, I got really sad. Because I'm in Raw.
well,
What
you
the?
stay sad, but that's a
It's,
like the whole. So we get the Shield farewell thing, which I thought would, how they put it up on social media and stuff. I thought it would be a little longer than what it was, and it was basically a photo op of the Shield members together. Roman Dean leave, and says stays in the ring. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mox, and I'm part of Violent Wrestling Podcast and the reigning, defending, some people listen to best podcast. Like,
Oh, it's Paul. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
I'm sorry. Let me
don't
ask, does anybody find Paul just blah by this point?
a long time ago, yes.
Yeah, he's saying
Sad,
the
sad
same
to
thing
say,
over
but
and over and over.
I mean, this isn't a shot at Heyman, the guy, because we all know what he can do on the mic. I mean, he's been doing it for so long. But I'm now to the point where when I hear Paul Heyman's voice, it makes me want to turn the channel.
yeah, because he's gonna say the same shit you heard last week and the week before and the week before and the week before.
Paul Heyman's presence doesn't make it okay that the WWE Universal Champion sits at home.
Well, he's got Sable, so there's a reason.
I will keep my opinion. That's like saying I don't want to sell my car. I love this beat up dump truck. It, but here's what I will say about that whole thing. I liked the WWE bringing continuity in long-term storytelling when Heyman brought out Shelton Benjamin. Because
Yes.
when you've been watching for as long as we all have, if you remember, Shelton Benjamin was a part of that insane developmental class, and he was also Brock Lesnar's roommate at the University of Minnesota
Lesnar's roommate.
in college, and they've always talked about that connection. But they haven't brought it up in years because why would they? But to bring Shelton in as this hired gun because of his connection to Brock and everything makes so much sense. It feels out of left field, but it makes total sense. And plus, it gives a guy you're in the not Shelton. Well, give Shelton something to do.
Because there's a lot of Oscar. I mean, he still work here.
Right?
Here?
Brock
And it also
Lesnar will
gives
never be able to do this to you again because I have what they call a contingency plan. This concept is called Team Angle.
feel good.
Yeah.
Feel
I mean, that's
better.
how Shelton Benjamin debuted. Paul Heyman was the one that, I mean, I guess from a kayfabe standpoint, did bring him into the WWE.
Right. Yeah. That was his introduction. And
ladies and
sidebar.
gentlemen, those that are listening, there's 4 of us on this podcast.
Hello.
Hello? I think
Hello?
we
Is
lost.
it me you're looking for?
Mox, can you hear us? One, two, three. Mox, can you hear us?
No, we lost the Mox.
Yeah, I think we did. But I wish I knew what he was going to say because I would have continued his point. but one thing I will say, I like that it did give. Well, in case everyone forgot, Seth is still the guy who's supposed to challenge Lesnar at Mania. I know it feels like we all forgot that, but he is. So it's nice for them to find a way to keep Seth busy, at least for a night, with someone I think he can go. I'm not going to really comment on the quality of the match because there was some sloppiness there, but um, I like that they gave Seth something to do on the first Monday since everything with post Roman coming back and all that, and um, and post the Shield thing, so he has a little bit of momentum in terms of in ring going in the future. I don't know if this was a one off for Shelton, uh, but I like having Shelton on my TV. I will say that.
Oh, I've always liked watching Shelton. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should watch Raw. I did DVR it. Maybe I
It's
should
just
go back
sitting,
and watch it for Shelton.
yeah, for Shelton and Seth. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to comment on the total match quality because it feels like that's the first time Shelton's worked in forever, but because it probably is. But um, it was a nice way to open, post everything with the Shield, and I want to see them keep momentum on it because I don't want to forget that we're supposed to have this other big match at WrestleMania. What did you think of everything? How everything played out, Matt?
I'll be honest, I haven't got a chance to watch Raw yet this week. I was working Monday, so I didn't get a chance to see. But I did hear about this, so it was pretty cool to see them bring Sherman Benjamin back. I think Sherman really is just underutilized. They don't use him as much as they should. So I like. Hopefully, this is more than just a one-off. And this is the first time that Shelton Benjamin's even been on TV since the Royal Rumble, I think. So it was nice to see him back.
Agreed.
Now we're all in agreement that happy that Shelton is back.
Yep. Um, have you heard back from heard anything from Mox there, Allie?
Nope.
Uh,
I'll text him and see what's going on.
I make one bad joke and you guys kick
Moxie,
me out.
No, where have you
you
been?
What the hell just happened?
I don't know.
dropped off completely.
Good grief! I didn't get a bye bitch, a bye Felicia, nothing. You got just I got the boot. Got the band hammer.
You, something happened on your end because I don't think any of us did anything.
I mean, oh, because Paul Heyman does listen to everything. Now that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just what what did you make of Shelton? Them using Shelton and everything here, Mox?
It made sense. I'm kind of surprised that wrestling Twitter and stuff one or two ways of they didn't realize the connection and the people that that was so random are the same people that were saying everything's so predictable. So you give us something that's not predictable and you're still bitching about it. Like
Oh, you know
it
how that
made se-
goes.
it made sense given the history and stuff. Like Brock's not there. Brock's not gonna show up unless he's getting big bukus. So have one thing that kind of like last time we saw Shelton, he was a SmackDown star. but those lines have been blurred completely anyway, so that didn't even bother me.
Yeah, the status of the brand split, the brand extinction, whatever you want to call it, um, seems grayer and grayer by the day. Uh, but after
Thank
we got to Shelton and Seth, what was our next little adventure on Raw?
Um, actually, after that, they give us an actual match after um, Shelton comes out, surprises, and takes Seth to Suplex City, bitch, 4 times or 5 times, whatever. We go to commercial, come back, and during commercial break, it's made official: Shelton versus Seth. We get that match. Seth wins, and as Seth is walking up the ramp, Balor's music hits, and Balor and Seth meet on the top of the ramp. And if you know your wrestling with the Universal Championship tournament thing from a couple years ago, Balor's injury happened during that match, and they just smile, nod at each other, handshake, kind of bro hug. And so we move on to Finn Balor. But that was a pretty cool moment, Seth and Finn at the top of the ramp together.
Oh yeah, we're about to
Yep.
have to go through a Finn Balor Bobby Lashley match, aren't we?
Okay. And for the listeners that I promised Rage last night that we didn't quite get to, it's about to happen. And I've also got scoops on this, by the way, after the match, after we talk about the match.
Hey man, I know you want to get into it, so lead us off here.
Me? Did you say me or Matt?
You.
Okay, so this is bullshit to begin with. Um, why is Lashley getting a rematch? Bullshit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Um, Finn gets the upper hand, and lo and behold, somebody in a sweater shows up, and who could it be? Leo Rush. Long story short, Leo Rush distracts Balor and costs Balor the IC championship. And so Lashley and Rush are friends again. Like nothing happened. Like, you cost me the title. I beat your ass. You're a piece of shit. I beat your ass. Oh no, the Dreamer has no memory of that.
Uh,
Why? And I'm gonna ask a question, and I know the answer. Why the fuck did you do that? Why take the belt off of Finn that quickly on a Monday Night Raw? Just stupid, stupid.
Thank you, Andy.
It really is just stupid. And I'll tell you why they did it. Because the Intercontinental Championship is starting to become like the United States Championship. It's a consolation prize. Well, we don't think you're good enough for the world title, but hey, here's a mid-card title. Have fun.
And that's all well and good. That's exactly what it is. The IC and the US are mid card titles. They should be treated in some degree as such. They should not be treated in degree as what the fuck they've been doing with it. But
Right.
that's not the reason this title change happened. And my sources have confirmed the reason this happened is because the there's so many nicknames for him. Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre together. Team Blah, Team, so many. This was there was no like separation. This is to get Lashley out of that group back into a singles match, probably against Finn or a ladder match or multi-man match at WrestleMania. And the big scoop of the day is we're getting Drew and Baron in a tag team match against Dean and Roman in Dean's last match in WWE. That's my big scoop. That's I can all but confirm that that's what's happening. And the only way that could happen is if we make sure Lashley's out of the picture and put him in a singles, get that trio broken up. Oh, Lashley's focused on singles action now. And what better way to say that than because he's the IC champion?
Yeah, put it
I
on someone who's non-charismatic.
I think I understand what you just said, but I think it's also because they want the demon. They want to have Finn break out the demon so he can go into whatever match he's going to go into at WrestleMania with that, so they can do the big production. And for some reason, they can't do that while he's Intercontinental Champion. I don't
Yeah,
understand that logic.
that I was about to say they can do that and still be champion. Or here's a thought: don't put the fucking championship on him in the first place.
The
Yeah,
Demon King.
You
I
know,
mean,
if that's what you're building to, fucking build to it.
mhm. Don't put it on him at a random show. Take it off of him at a random show, and then put it back on him at WrestleMania just so you can have the damn moment. That's the
Yeah,
that's the number one problem with moment booking. They're so concerned with having the picture perfect moment that they don't care if the booking leading up to it is hot garbage. The
right.
This
It's
is
like
your
taking
moment. Your
Go ahead, Matt.
moment.
what
Oh,
was that?
so you take 100 pictures. Like say you're out on a hike or something. You take 100 pictures trying to get that one perfect picture, or at least a good picture. Or let me. You have a chance to take 100 pictures on a hike or a trail, and your goal is to get this one perfect picture. And like the first 20, 30 of those pictures are you accidentally hitting the the snap button, like just try and get it out of your pocket, or up to see through the view, or like it's just so this was dumb from the beginning. But like I say, it does, since I do know what's going to happen, it does. They had to break Lashley off of Drew and Baron for WrestleMania reasons, but that still doesn't make it right. And that's
No.
what we are getting at WrestleMania is Drew and Baron versus Roman and Dean. I promise you. And it's March 13th. I promise you that's the match we're getting.
It, WWE is so concerned about what the final moment looks like. They forget the fact that the moment isn't what makes the story, it's the journey to the moment.
Thank you for that's what I because obviously I'm a fan, not just that I'm a fan mark, but I like good storytelling. And when I was trying to analogy it with taking a hike, like going through a hike, and like, okay,
Hmm.
you get 100 pictures. Okay, you might get that one final picture of like the sun setting, But fuck if those other 99 pictures aren't blurry and shit, and you can't tell if it's a tree or a bear or okay that or if it's a bear shitting on a tree. Like okay, you get this pretty sunset, but if you're trying to tell your hike through the 100 pictures you took, basically all you get's this pretty sunset. Like, am I making sense at all?
No, you're right.
So,
The
so what you're
the
saying? So what you're saying is that you can't bear this booking.
Oh God, I need new friends. This legit like pissed me off. Like not like a mark pissed me off, but as soon as it happened, my sources called, and when I say my sources, I can't reveal them. Just um, I'll just I'm gonna start using kayfabe names for them. One's called Com, and my other sources we'll call them Sense. So Common and Sense told me that that's where they're going.
uh, you know what? At least you have sources named Common and Sense. Vince doesn't, but at least you do.
Wait. You just you went full circle, but in reverse. Like, nice. But yeah, that pissed me off so bad, so bad. But I'm okay with it. Like I said yesterday in the daily, I'm okay with it to a degree of I know why it's happening. Still pisses me off. And we're gonna get Brains again at WrestleMania, and I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah, if they're going to give Dean the send off, I'm cool with it. But the ancillary part of Finn having to drop the belt
yeah.
again doesn't make sense.
And
But
none of it made sense. And Leo Rush all of a sudden, like, and Bobby being cool with Leo again, like it just because I was wanting a Leo. I'm sure WrestleMania's IC title match is going to be a multi-man ladder, high spot shit. But after a couple weeks ago, give me fucking Leo Rush versus Finn Balor. Take my money.
you know, I know we're trying to kind of look forward through the fogged glass to WrestleMania. But I will say this: it would not shock me if coming out of Mania, Leo Rush is the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, I could see that. Make it a triple threat again, or a multi man of anyway match. Lashley, Finn, Leo, couple other people.
Returning Sami Zayn. I mean, if
Okay,
we're gonna,
yeah, like
if
if
we're,
we're fantasy book stuff, like go ahead,
yeah,
put Sami Zayn in it.
maybe. I mean, depending on what they. Well, I'm gonna say maybe. Well, no. I think his. I was gonna say Gargano, but I think he's gonna be in NXT for a minute.
Yeah. Um. Well, he's already been on the main roster. What does it hurt? Well, you're actually talking about winning the IC title at
Yeah, well,
Mania.
yeah, that and are
He
they
can be
going
in
to?
the match.
Yeah, but who do we think's going to be having a title match the night before?
Oh, well, yeah, you're talking about NXT and some spoilers
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to go out and like lay it out there,
yeah.
but I
Don't
expect
do that.
but I would say I would expect if Gargano were in that match, something's happened the night before, and that's all I'm going to say.
But
Uh,
there's so many, just like with a lot of so many different ways you could have told this story.
yep,
A
and they
lot.
chose the wrong one.
Hello. WWE stands for
Walk what
wrong
they lie
way.
us.
Well, that too.
But
Wrong way entertainment. Hey, we could do this. It'd work perfectly fine. Well, what's the other way? But
remember,
anyway,
Max.
go ahead.
Just as long as you don't call it wrestling, you can call it whatever you want. Because WWE doesn't do wrestling according to the Tampa Sun Times.
Yeah, and that's Matt or Matt NAA. Your thoughts on the Finn Balor, not just the match itself, but Finn Balor, first ever Universal Champion, lost it. Had to. He didn't lose it, but had to relinquish it the night after due to injury. Finally gets a championship, and not even anything new. Bobby Lashley, and like, what are your guys' thoughts on how short that reign was and the story of back and forth?
I got one word for it. Terrible. Terrible.
Simply terrible.
I think that story would have worked better with the Miz, and the Miz could have carried it for a short reign.
The Miz and Balor's place, or in Lashley's place?
And Balor's.
Well, Miz has done it before. Yeah, but I can.
Well, with Miz, remember, he's still sitting on. He's still technically tied with Jericho, correct?
Right.
I think,
As
Unfortunately,
far
yes.
as far as reigns,
yeah. I don't think they're gonna. If they do go that route sometime down the line, they're going to want to make that a big deal.
I don't think that's what AA was talking about. I think AA was talking about character and story of, if they're gonna do this, who would have been a better pick for it? Is that what you're referring to, AA?
No, I was referring to because Miz has so many reigns, long
Oh,
and
oh,
short ones. But Adam is right. I forgot that Miz is sitting tied with Jericho.
okay, I'm with you now. Sorry, but fuck, if you're gonna do this, like, do it with somebody else other than Balor. I get, again, like, we're getting Demon Finn, Demon Kane at WrestleMania, but you could have done it so much better than this bullshit. Okay.
I'm pretty much starting the fan club of let's unify the two titles, Intercontinental US, and bring in the long forgotten television title. Because I understand all the importance behind the United States and Intercontinental Championships, but if the company is not going to give them the status that those belts have in terms of their positioning, then let's skip all the crap. But
Well,
that's just me.
and I see what you're saying, to a degree agree with it. Um, but yeah, especially the mid card titles are just. I mean, all titles are props. Don't get me wrong. But damn, I with when it comes to main roster mid card titles, it's just so.
It
They
feels
used to be
personal.
booked. Yeah, like back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean like literally a few years ago. Bow titles were. I'm not even going back to you know the old U.S. title when it was like big gold. You know the WCW championship was the belt, but that United States champion meant something. Even back early WWF, like the Intercontinental Championship was basically like a silver medal and as
It,
a you're next in line. Like, okay, you have this, so that means you're
right. It was always the workers title. And I know that's a
right,
weird way of looking at it, but the work rate guy in the company at the time typically was the guy who got that belt. And it also represented the guy who was going to come up and make that next
right,
challenge.
right. It was like Money in the Bank before Money in the Bank. Like you couldn't
Kind of.
cash it,
Yeah.
you couldn't cash it in. But if you're back then, if you were the IC champion, you we expected, and usually it did happen. You're going, you're maybe not, you know, right then next up, but that was your, with the whole stepping stone stuff. Like if you became IC champion, your next goal is, or your next thing is going to be going for the WWF at the time heavyweight championship. That was just how it worked.
Right.
And then they put that motherfucker on Dolph Ziggler, and it's never been the same.
Well, let's be honest. It's never been the same since they got rid of it.
Well, I had to give my Dolph.
Well, don't worry about that, dude. I mean, they're only on a handshake deal. Dolph, please
That's
just
gonna
go away.
go over a lot of people's heads, but anyway, I wanted to actually be louder and rant more about the Balor stuff. I will. That's just complete utter bullshit, and it's not even the fact that I mind him losing it so soon. It's to who and when and where and how and
Why and
motherfuck, like give me that's just complete utter bullshit. Like aggravating.
do you want to move on?
Please.
What was our next little story?
Oh, nobody has this pulled up because I was just doing all that off memory. Um
Yeah, I do
uh
not. Let me. Gotta
while
love the
we're
dead
talking
air.
about that, yeah, while I'm looking this up, just to kind of I can't jump rails if there are no rails, but Rhonda's been kind of quiet on social media the last couple of days.
Someone must have told her to shut the hell up, and I want to thank them for telling her to shut up.
What? The Monday would have been the 11th.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and it needed to, because this wasn't just like on the Twitter social media stuff. That this was beyond. Oh, you're getting worked. You're getting worked. Uh, I don't care if people are, which surely people weren't, like people within the WWE saying, "Hey, that's okay, that's okay." Somebody somewhere should have said, "Nope."
Well, when the boss doesn't give a shit about the business, why should Ronda?
But he's been portrayed as a senile man that's, well, you can say portrayed or you can say in real life, either one. But yeah. Let's see. Oh God, just reading it in on words. It's like Intercontinental Championship match. Bobby Lashley defeats Finn Balor. Fuck you. Oh, speaking of, that is the next. God damn it. The next thing is the Ronda promo. There might be some little things that
I talked about that Ronda promo a little bit last night, but let me reiterate. Who told her that was a good idea? Why is she being allowed to go out there? Did she straight up call Becky and Charlotte carnies?
Carney Cons. Not just carnies, but Carney Cons. And called all of us bandwagon bitches. And when I say all of us, I mean the quote unquote
Fans.
WWE universe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, you can't say fans.
Oh,
We
I'm
went through
sorry.
this 10 minutes
I'm
ago.
sorry. I'm so sorry. You're just gonna have to make me sign a cease and desist letter. Uh, all I can think about. And look, I'm sorry if this upsets me. And I know for some of you, you don't take it this seriously because um it is what it is. We all know what it is. We all know what the business is. We're not. And if you don't, then God bless you because at least you have some still sort of a way to look at these things from a way that I can't anymore.
Yeah.
But
Naivete is what I like to call it.
naivety, yeah.
Or, shut up, dude. I'm trying to do 5 things at once.
What are you making?
Nothing. What are you making?
What beeping am I hearing?
The car keys in my car?
That would be it. I thought it was a microwave. Uh, it, it shouldn't irk me. But when you're standing in the middle of a ring and straight up calling your opponents carnies,
What does that make you?
exactly. If you're so much better than the everybody, why are you here?
I would applaud for once in my life. Applaud Ronda. You know, fuck this company. They're nothing but a bunch of carny cons. And this time, like literally, just leave the title and walk away. Like,
Walk
well,
out, walk to a limousine, and leave.
the scripted limousine, the fake limousine. You know that she.
It it's so. All I can think about is if had she tried to say those things in the Greensboro Coliseum in 1986, she would have been shot or out in
She,
Mid-South. It
Mid South, she would have been stabbed before she got shot. Cause, but it's just so. Oh, man, what'd you think about the Ronda? Oh, before Matt, um, because I've always had an issue because it's just a visual thing that bothers the shit out of me. Just like and before anybody starts in about I don't like this or that. Um, like and this goes for male or female. In the middle of a match and somebody gets hurt or gets taken through a beatdown, and the first thing they fix is like their hair. You know, she, she wore those shorts and always tugging on the shorts. Now she's wearing leggings. She did two moves and still tugs on the leggings. Like that, just one of those little minute, has nothing to do with anything, but Jesus Lord, I can understand like wearing shorts and like getting a wedgie or something, want to pull it down from the back so your butt cheeks aren't showing, but she's like pulling down from the thigh. Like, man, what do you think about the Ronda segment?
Um, it was awful. Like every other Ronda segment, she just needs to go away because, like, none of this is real. It's all fake. That is the worst possible heel persona you could possibly have for yourself. The only other person I can think of that has done a heel persona like that is Vince Russo. And if you are channeling Vince Russo for your character, there's something wrong.
Yeah, and Vince Russo is a friend of the show, so we're not like trying to bash Russo in that matter. Just you don't do that. Like you don't. Even he knows better. Like looking back at it, he said like, yeah, could have done that differently, but he didn't. And um, AA,
Hmm.
your thoughts on this or Ronda period leading up to Mania and all the bull crap.
I try not to think about Rhonda.
You know who did, and I'm not gonna acknowledge some of the shit on Twitter about because these are trolls and they actually one wasn't a troll, it was actually just in a joking manner, but then it got picked up and about them replacing her with somebody else, and it happens all the time. That's not really her. Dana Brooke, and I'm going to preface this by saying that a site we bring up a lot, KTI Seats, this Ronda Rousey's best promo of her career, or so far, however they worded it. Okay, maybe it was. Shit still smells like shit. Dana Brooke cut a very heartfelt, very good promo.
I
Match chair, what do you
you
think about it?
I'm sorry. I'm to the point, and I hate to sound all Grandpa Simpson about this. Old man shit, yells at cloud. But if this whole thing doesn't end with every woman in that locker room at WrestleMania coming down to the ring and
Yes.
putting the boots to Ronda Rousey over this shit.
No, no, don't even do that. Don't even do that. Just have them come down and align, on both sides of the ramp. And as she's walking up, just do a very um, friendly but not really wave, just bye bitch kind of wave. Does that? I'm doing it where like I think you guys can see me, but like just have all the women, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and just do a slow bye.
It just irks me so much because I'm sitting here thinking, here she is, she's calling it fake. But Lita had to retire because she broke her neck. Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai are sitting in rehab because of professional wrestling. To call it fake is an insult to every person who's ever stepped in that ring and had to live through the bumps and the bruises and the broken body parts and the torn ligaments and the cracked ribs and all of it. I don't care that this is kayfabe or not. You don't
Right,
call
like
it
that.
fake. You don't say that
And
because it's
her
insulting.
her boss, and this is kind of a joke, but at the same time it's true. Her boss, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, tore both his quads just trying to get in the ring.
Hmm.
There's a
It's just
huge difference between being fake and scripted, choreographed, what, but none of those are fake in the way people use the word fake, and she's trying to use it. Like, it's just, uh,
she owes an apology every time she comes into the building. Every time she comes in and every time she leaves. It, you,
go
this
ahead.
just it
I got
riles
on
me
my
up.
soapbox earlier.
It
It,
riles
it
me up
really does.
because tell he he just popped up on my screen here.
Oh,
Tell
whoa.
Steve tell Steve Austin it's fake. Tell Dynamite Kid it's fake. Tell Harley
Morris.
Race it's fake.
Yeah.
Tell Fit Finley it's fake.
Please do. I
He
want to
will
see you do
dislocate
it.
your finger and then put it back in place.
Tell Nick F. and Gage it's fake.
Tell
Well,
David Arquette
Uh,
it's fake.
you
Wrestling's not fake.
you know it.
I'll say this much, and sorry if I actually said this last night, or yeah, last night about Fastlane. Morris actually went from a Ronda fan, like, oh, it's Ronda Rousey, it's somebody new, and he knew her from UFC because we watch UFC stuff. Like, oh my God, it's Ronda Rousey, huh? To he legitimately does not like her, and he's basically, if she, especially if she's talking, like, he starts playing with his toys and like, let me know when she shuts up kind of thing. Like when you take a 9-year old who was a fan, and I'm sorry, Matt, but we brought this up a couple weeks ago. When you take a 9-year old fan, soon to be 10, 4 days, send birthday cards to 555. No, anyway, um, when you take a kid that, yeah, he's a little smarter wrestling wise than other 9 year olds might be because of who his dad is, but I keep a lot of things kayfabe with him, and I don't tell him a lot of the stuff that goes on and rumors and speculation and stuff. But just on what he's seen on TV, when you've taken somebody so excited for somebody to be there, and to add on to that this WrestleMania match, and for him to say, "Daddy, I don't care anymore. Like I don't like Ronda. I don't know why Becky's still doing. Why is Becky still wearing a crutch but can wrestle? Like when you to a 9 year old,
You've
like
beaten us
you're
to death. It's what they've beaten us to death with all
with
this
a
Ronda
crutch.
stuff.
Yeah,
With a crutch.
he's so over it. Like he doesn't. Months ago, he fell out with Ronda. A couple months ago, he fell out. Well, Royal Rumble, you guys know that he fell out with Becky. But then he kind of got reinvested in the story, like the triple threat possibility at Mania. And this past Monday, he literally doesn't give a flying fuck about that match. Okay then. So yeah, that's
But I put the majority of the blame here on Ronda.
Yes, same here.
definitely.
I mean,
And
I don't like what they've done with Becky in the last few weeks, and they're leaving Charlotte out there to die. But quite honestly, Charlotte's the only one who's been able to keep her head above water.
because she
What
hasn't gotten
about
into the Twitter spat. Like she did the exact opposite. And she even, I'll set my Twitter game up after WrestleMania. When she was in Mexico,
Hmm.
like that. I'm not rooting for her to win the match, because God, please no. But she is the best looking one so far. As far as the story goes, like she's
I mean, I,
uh,
I'm just
yeah.
move on because I literally could just bitch about this all night,
So
and
could
no one
I,
wants to
but
hear me. No one wants to hear me bitch. So
nobody wants to hear you. Period. Anyway, but
that's also true.
just like nobody wants to hear Odell Beckham Jr. But that's um, Aleister Black and Ricochet against shit, and they just got a new name. It's Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. What did they rename themselves? It was even on the Titantron. Shit, doesn't matter. Um,
Yeah, you know what? You're right. It doesn't matter.
but Black and Ricochet pin Chad and Gable, and of course, who shows up? The
The
Revival.
revival.
So this is definitely leading to another multi-person match at WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Are they? Are,
go ahead.
hmm. What are they doing?
Uh, Sir, that's a $64,000 question.
I know, but and that's reference.
I know what they're
It's
trying. I know what they're trying to do. I think and that's Matt's dog says hello. They're trying to, and they've succeeded in making Black and Ricochet a tag team.
But have they succeeded in making you want to see them beat the Revival?
Well, that a little Mark's going to come out and say yes, just because it's Black and Tommy fucking end, but or Tommy
Well,
fucking end and Ricochet, but not as what the point of your question. Like, no, they've just taken another good story and blanded it to death.
to me, I look at it like this: they're trying to halfway it with the Revival. They put the belts on them, but it seems like they're still pretty sure that they're walking out the door.
Pretty much.
So what do you do with champions who are about to leave?
Well, somebody's got to hold those props.
Well, I know. And I think
The only sense I can make of it is this is their way. For one, with Ciampa being hurt, like this might have been DIY spot,
I think it was supposed to be DIY spot.
but so they rescheduled that or redid it, and now we're just gonna have Tommy and Ricochet, Prince Puma taking their spot or filling their spot, not taking it. You can't, you know what I mean?
Right.
That we're gonna do that instead of this. But I think that was supposed to be DIY spot.
Which is weird because DIY was supposed to still have the match between them for the NXT title. So, what was the plan ultimately?
And see, this is where amongst us and probably most of our listeners, like NXT to main roster stuff doesn't have to be coherent or like but this is like maybe the most extreme case. If Ciampa was supposed to face Gargano at Takeover, this is one of those like, oh, we're going like outside of nobody watches NXT. When I say nobody, you know what I mean. Like uh, I don't know. I just, but damn it if I don't love some Ricochet and Alistair together. Hey, I know you love you some Prince Puma
Oh yeah, and some
and
Alistair
Tommy.
Black.
Any comments, by the way? Since you say we never let you talk.
Nope,
Not a comment.
not a comment.
Boo. Well, screw you guys. We're going home.
Oh, was that the go home?
Any other thoughts on that meaningless tag match?
Um, uh, I want to say something because it just came across my screen, but this is a non-spoiler show, so I'm going to keep it to myself. But um, yeah, this just
Matt's too
made
busy
my
playing video games anyway, so he won't. Go ahead.
Wait, what?
this is a non-spoiler show, and I promise I'm gonna keep it that way. But it relates to this recent conversation, and all I'm going to say is, There's going to be a couple busy people that weekend.
Ah, you're talking about tapings.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I thought when you said non-spoiler, like I thought you were talking about whatever you were going to talk about wasn't spoilers, but you're talking about our show. Okay, I'm with you now. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want it. I just looked at my phone and saw some of the stuff happening at the tapings for
Yeah. Yeah.
NXT, and I'm going to
Well,
keep them to myself.
you didn't even have to go that far. Just
I
um.
know.
So next up we have Alexa Bliss is going to announce the host of WrestleMania 35. Who could it be, brother? Jack, dude.
Uh, Sorry, I almost vomited. Oh, don't ever say that again. But
The
instead
host,
of
the
that
host.
orange terror, who's it gonna be?
Wait a minute. Did you just compare he who shall not be named Scantone to Alexis?
No, I was just calling him an orange terror.
Oh. Alexa Bliss will be your host for WrestleMania 35.
Well, I do have a question here.
Please
Why
ask.
do we need a host for WrestleMania?
Another
Is WrestleMania
paycheck.
not enough? Do we really need a host to keep things together?
Yes, because clearly this company can't keep things together on their own.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like to me, it's like if they had I don't know George Strait co-host WrestleMania 17 because it was in Texas. Sure, it might have been convenient since all his exes lived in Texas. Sure, he was going to carry his love with him to that. Sure, maybe they did look so good in love. They wanted him. It's easy to see.
I just wanted to ask you, did that make you feel better?
Yeah.
I just want you to
Uh,
know that hurt my soul. You owe people an apology.
I enjoyed it.
at Metal Matt, at Metal Matt 15 on Twitter. I'll give you his text number after the show, or at least when he's
I
not
don't think you
here,
know my phone number actually.
sir. Sir.
Sir.
I've been watching. AA's got me into too much Criminal Minds. I can figure it out. But yeah. So we have a moment of bliss, and Alexa. The big thing is she's gonna announce the host. It's Alexa. Um, she did a really because everybody was cheering, and she shut them down. They cheered again. She shut them down. Um, but to answer your question, Matt, when you're dealing with shit, isn't the pre-show already started? When you're
Yeah,
dealing with that kind of show, like yeah, a host isn't that bad of an idea. It's not like they're gonna be out there before every match or during every segment, like just here and there kind of.
I mean it's a blatant paycheck. There are worse people than Alexa, I suppose.
Aku.
Yeah, we're not talking about the orange bastard.
No, no. Well, he would have been worse.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Like
yeah. It. My thing is, and you
they're gonna
pointed
wait and
out.
let it, they're gonna wait and let him host the Saudi Arabia show.
Oh, I know. I know that's the easy joke to make, but we both know what WrestleMania he's hosting.
Oh god.
He's hosting next year's. Like we all know this, right? It's in Tampa. He lives right down the road.
Anyway, let's stay on track here.
I mean,
Um,
but you pointed out the thing I kind of want to comment on. Alexa had to get the crowd back
Yeah.
because she was cutting a heel promo and they were cheering her, so she had to stop it, and then they started cheering again. That's the first time I've seen on screen where I myself had to say, okay, it's time to turn her.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that before, but this was definitely like uh, I guess now that obviously her role is going to be the host, like coming out of WrestleMania with the shakeups and turn her face, fuck it, turn her face at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it.
Turn her.
That's the perfect time. She's the host. Remember, New Day, brought in the Hardys back. Turn her face, have some kind of segment, match, whatever, that she's the host, and apparently as the host, you can, usher in um, people that weren't in the match and stuff like New Day did with Hardys. Have her turn face at Mania by doing something with.
Have her
Please just don't
be
do it with
involved
the.
with it. And I know this might
Oh
irk
God,
you. This might irk you a little bit, Mox.
I know where you're going.
Have her
Go
be in a
ahead.
segment, and then by some by hook or by crook, have her get jumped, and have the person jumping her be revealed as Mox's favorite female wrestler on the planet,
No, sir. No.
Rhea
Rhea Ripley.
Ripley.
No.
Because I mean, Rhea's coming over, and she's coming over here pretty soon. I think they're ready. They're about ready to do something. Call her up. Um, that's the perfect time. It, but the other thing that makes it perfect is
Or, just
if
off the wall idea, do something with Lacey Evans. Do that same thing, but with Lacey.
good idea. It, but the other thing that makes the idea of the turn at Mania seem so appealing to me is that you're going to have Smarkamania the next 2 nights and
Yes.
have that momentum with
Right.
the crowd.
That's what I'm. You get the turn at Mania, then whether she's Raw, SmackDown, whatever, something has to happen to her physically or through her words of getting the fans happy at Mania, and then follow up either Monday or Tuesday with a yep, I'm literally a face, and the crowd's going to be completely behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time. She can't. Uh, my only concern is where is she health wise? But outside of
She's
that,
she's been wrestling house shows.
then she's fine, I guess. But I'll just end with saying it needs to happen because we're at that point now where if the crowd is having that interaction with her, all right, let's jump on it. The
Yeah,
crowd is telling you what to do here, and I know Matt would love to face Alexa Bliss.
Why would I?
Oh no, I just
I think that was kind of a dig joke thing.
uh,
Um, anything else about Alexa hosting Mania?
I'm all
nope.
for it.
And see, the years I've known you, AA, remember when we first got to know each other, like when I was number one Alexa Mark, which still am. I'm not giving that title to anyone else. It just doesn't say it anymore. Um, and didn't really like Alexa and how far we've come with. Like, at least she can talk on the freaking mic, and her ring skills aren't that bad. Have you seen Tamina and Nia wrestle lately?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have.
Okay. What do you think of AA about Alexa turning face?
I think she could do it. I
I
really
think
do.
so too.
But let's not go
Er,
back to the tutu. We don't need to go
Yeah,
that
I
far.
was about to say, like, let's not go face like blowing glitter and cheerleader outfit stuff.
Now, I'll keep my opinion to myself.
I mean, sir, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we're on the same page there. But
Uh-huh.
um, and then all or before that, Colin Jost, and I didn't get this right off the bat. It took me about 30 seconds. Colin Jost gifts a brand new red Camaro for apology from last week for all the hard feelings with Braun. Gives Braun a brand new red Camaro that Braun instantly tears
Destroys.
to pieces.
You notice
And
how
lo and
the
behold, go ahead.
you notice how the seats weren't tightened in.
It wasn't really a car.
Well, no, it wasn't. But my whole thing was he didn't mean to move the seat as quick as he did, so it immediately all came out, and so he had to grab it again. And I thought it was funny.
And Colin Jost actually did do a pretty good tweet regarding the angle. Hey, at Braun Strowman, not to make a big fuss, but that was a rental and I didn't pay for insurance. Maybe I can send you my Venmo info and you can reimburse me. P.S. Are you watching The Bachelor? Crazy. See you soon, amigo. Hashtag get these friends.
I man, I'm not going to shit on the segment. The segment did what it was supposed to do.
Okay, what was this segment supposed to do?
Make make Braun look big and terrifying.
Bullshit.
In
There was
theory,
one. There was one reason for that segment. There's a reason why it was a Camaro and it looked like that. They literally came out with a Braun pull apart car.
I saw that at Walmart today.
uh, so it was marketed.
Yes, it was a marketing ploy.
Damn.
You see what Braun did on Raw?
Well, you could do
You
it
can
here
do
at
it too.
home.
Yes, that's all that was to sell toys. Or specifically this toy. It's been out for like 6 months. Nobody's bought it. So they're like, oh, we have all this merch. How can we move it? Let's have Braun do it in real life. And now everybody's going to get this wrecking,
Car thing.
yeah, wrecking something. That's in the same aisle, right under the figures and stuff. You get the car.
Can we have a frank discussion about Braun Strowman at this point in time?
My name's not Frank, sir.
Shut up, Shirley.
And don't call me Shirley.
Uh, can Braun Strowman ever recover from this?
Nope.
It's possible, but I think it's unlikely at this point.
Because a mutual friend of ours, one Miss Tanya Rogers, brought this up on Twitter today, so I want to make sure I give her credit. Y'all realize they're having him do late Andre the Giant? comedic stuff. And this is being a year removed from all that stuff with Roman.
I take it a step further. This is beyond late Andre stuff. This is just now there. You can later on put the Universal Championship on them, whatever. No,
It's over.
yeah. There
It's
is
over for
no.
Braun Strowman.
You can only do so much before you get to the point of nope. And we passed that point a while ago.
He's going into WrestleMania, and they're going to book a match between Braun Strowman and the Weekend Update guys from Saturday Night Live. Think about that.
And let's from the last WrestleMania where Nicholas, also known as some kid, don't even put Braun in the match. Just have Nicholas kick their ass.
Right.
Do it the exact reverse of last time.
He can't get his heat back. At least not with me.
Yeah, there's like I said, you can put the Universal Championship on him. He can squash Lesnar in 4 seconds. No, my memory's better than that. I know what you did. What you've gone through. The booking you've had to receive. Yeah, in my
If
eyes, he's
if he loses at WrestleMania, give him his walking papers. Because you've killed him. He will have no value after that.
he barely has any now.
I agree
If
with you.
like okay, big dude, and they're not even doing like big dude attraction like with Andre or Big Show or like he's dead. Like
A fish.
there's nothing you to the point, and I'll just bring this up. Um, Bray Wyatt, imaginably, is more salvageable at this point than Braun Strowman.
Because Bray
Bray
Wyatt still has a
Wyatt,
pedigree.
so he's still in moves.
Not. Damn you. The thing going for Bray Wyatt is at the very least, people are still interacting with him. And he's the son of who he's third generation.
Yeah, and with it being March, pay your taxes, motherfuckers.
Nice reference.
Sorry.
Shout out to Angel. I hope everyone got that message.
I think we should
It,
have him on again. We need his top 5 more than ever.
oh Lord.
I agree with Middle Matt.
Yeah. He'll be on, and like I said last night, and I'll say it tonight just to segue. Morris is on spring break next week, so Morris will definitely be a guest, maybe twice. We're working on one very special announcement, and then he might just be a regular Tuesday or Wednesday
Are you guys
guest.
gonna announce the wedding,
Sir.
sir?
Click his icon, hit end call, and let's be done with this. But anyway,
I just really wanted to say that there's nothing left for Braun here. There's no title he can win. There's no feud he can have. He's going into WrestleMania as the comedy guy. You don't come out of that spot
Yeah.
unless it's something major.
Wow, we've spent so much time talking about Raw. Any other things on Braun? Or
No.
anybody?
Going once, going twice. Moving on.
Elias cut a promo on Pittsburgh. Um, his promos the night before on Cleveland were, oh, and everyone I was like, ha 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 ha, just based on,
Me.
some, I was gonna be round about it, but yeah, haha, screw you, Rice.
That's what I thought you
But
said.
I'm saying that, he's from Pittsburgh, so like we didn't already know that, but he made sure to let the crowd and they cheered, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. He said, I'm gonna paraphrase here, and he left the shithole just like Antonio Brown, and oh my god,
Why is it I hear voices in my head?
do
Well,
they counsel you? Do they understand?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
at
so
least you have them.
somebody's getting an RKO.
And it's going to be AJ Styles.
But and for whatever reason, No Way Jose has like Naomi gimmick, green hair stuff, and interrupts them.
That was a
Oh,
random No Way. Why is No Way Jose getting a Raw appearance?
um, I'm gonna laugh my ass off if we get No Way Jose versus Elias at WrestleMania.
Because everybody needs to be on the card.
Surely they're gonna be in the Andre Rumble.
Yeah,
Surely,
probably. And don't
but
call
that
me
was
Shirley.
just such, sir.
Yes.
And then Lacey Evans does her Lacey Evans, whatever.
At least this time she made her way over to the announce table.
Yeah, she walked about 4 feet more than she usually does.
Again, there's no reason to spend any time on Lacey Evans in this
Yeah.
gimmick, but it.
The only
I
thing,
don't know.
the only time to spend on it is it literally makes me sick to my stomach of how Renee plays her up.
Yeah.
Renee, we all know Renee's a married woman. Well, for one, we all know Renee's a woman. Renee's a married woman, and to play up the the Lacey gimmick of you wait on your man hand and foot, and like, oh my god, that's infuriating. And I'll just be honest. I hate. Sorry, I used the word hate. I loathe Renee's compliments towards Lacey more than I loathe the Lacey gimmick itself.
I don't. It's, I'm trying to form a coherent sentence, but it's
Oh,
just.
sir, we're not going to be on here for 2, 3 years, so
I hate you so much. It. The Lacey Evans stuff is just tiring. It's
yes,
just
and
tiring
pointless.
and pointless and irritating.
Matt, you a fan of Lacey's? Apparently, we put him to sleep. Excuse me.
I guess Lacey does that to people.
AA, any thoughts on Lacey?
I think I like Matt's idea of going to sleep when it comes to her.
Moving on. Um, we have the best wrestler in the world ever. Nia Jax versus the best wrestler in the world ever, Natalia. And this had shit all to do with the match.
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, this was after the match. Beth
You-
taking on her friend. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I really don't have anything that important to say to interrupt you, so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. This was basically. Uh, and I kind of like Natty as a person, like except for like, damn, that's a lot of cats. And she's a skilled performer. Don't get me wrong, she's one of the best. But so boring, and you put her up against Nia. Oh, but the point of this was to getting to. Beth Phoenix was doing commentary on the outside of the ring, and after the match, there was a beatdown, or there was whatever, and Beth supposedly was just leaving her guest commentary spot, and they attacked Beth, so we have Divas of Doom back together again, which apparently will be part of a WrestleMania match, whether it's them against each other or in some kind of multi-woman tag team title match.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say if they are going to do a multi-women match, if they are going to do the Divas of Doom, that probably knocks out the Sky Pirates. But if they're going to include Nia and Tamina again, that knocks out the Riot Squad, and that's just because I think they're going to want a SmackDown team in any multi-woman match,
Well, true.
and that's
It's
and that spot's going to go to the Iconics.
Well, I mean, as well it should, because the Iconics, I mean,
I
motherfuckers been
should have
quiet
given
for
them an opening. I
Boston
should
Hug
never.
are just,
motherfuckers been.
they're ducking them. Boston Hug are scared of the Iconics because they know what's going to happen when they go face to face with the Iconics. The Iconics are going to take their titles.
Matt hasn't
They're
said a
going to do
word
it
in
on the
30
biggest stage
minutes.
of
You
all,
bring up the
WrestleMania.
Iconics, and here comes Matt. Loud as can be. Like,
He's on the damn payroll, clearly.
hey, I wouldn't mind being on that payroll.
That's a. I'll be good. Um,
Yeah, I hope maybe by some chance we just get a Divas of Doom versus them. I'm trying to be nice too. I'm trying to be nice. And then the actual tag titles are a different match, but
yeah, I agree with that, but I just don't see them leaving the Divas of Doom out of that mix.
But do we
so
really need the Divas of Doom in 2019?
Oh no, I'm not saying this is going to be a run or anything. This
Well,
is
not
going.
even that, just a match in general.
hey, with it being again the pre-show started an hour ago, um, I'm okay with it being Divas of Doom versus them. But just them like pre-show, like because I'm gonna be cooking and drinking and stuff, and I need bathroom breaks and all that stuff. So and I need to check on the smoker and how the meat's coming. So I'm as far as that goes, like that would definitely be But Beth Phoenix, to her credit,
looks phenomenal.
still yes, still looks damn good. when she came out, like, damn, she doesn't look as good as she used to. She looks better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she looks great. I'm sure she's putting in the time. We know she's putting in the time to get ready for this. Whether we need it, no, but do we need any of these matches really going into WrestleMania?
No, we don't need Batista Triple H. We don't need Divas of Doom back.
Hey,
That's different.
sir, do not compare the porn that we heard Monday night to Divas of Doom.
Yeah, that was weird. That
Um,
was
so
Give me
that
what I
was.
want. Give me what I want. What I really, really want.
Why did you just combine Spice Girls with Honky Tonk Man? Why?
hey,
Child, if you want Vince's boy toy,
I gave him another opening.
I know it was it.
I'm gonna
Had
stop
to do it
saying
for
names. I'm gonna
live because
we're gonna have
I'm
to
gonna
start
stop.
moving this along rapidly. AA, your thoughts on I already know your thoughts on Nia Jax, period, but the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix and Natalia Neidhart coming back together, memory lane kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on them coming back in the year of our War 2019?
I like seeing them come back because I miss Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, she's awesome.
The tragedy of the Divas of Doom are they were the two best workers of that era, and they put them together for no other reason than just to have them together, and nothing ever came of it.
Well, true, but
So I don't have a problem with them now that the eras have changed and and they have the talent now to have them come out at a big moment like Mania and to do something because Beth does, Beth kind of walked away. She walked away and said, "I'm not going to do this anymore." So for her to come back and be willing to come back, I think is important.
yeah.
Um, and
And
so
for those that don't know, Beth Phoenix is married to Adam Copeland, aka Edge. So
the
that
rated
is,
R superstar.
oh, good grief,
we're really gonna
serious.
have to stop saying names.
We're gonna have to, like, Matt's gonna have to start getting like drug tested before every pod, breathalyzer drug test. Like he and I was 100% believing like no, he is straight edge. The last couple of podcasts, like we might need to.
He needs to have a
Um,
full drug panel done.
Speaking of walk alone, the next segment is the Batista Triple H, and this since he's in rare form, Matt, and even if you want to do voices with it, you have the floor. Do this promo,
What promo?
Batista and Triple H.
Just give me what I want. What I really, really want. So tell me what you want. What you really want, Batista. I'll tell you what I want, Triple H. What I really, really want.
I'm gonna walk away now.
This
That was.
was. Go ahead.
It made me feel weird.
I literally tweeted what they were saying. It's like, I don't know if I'm watching Raw or porn. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want. Oh, you want this? You want this? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you real hard. Yeah, I'll give it to you. How do you like that? Like, if I had like just the sound on, like, um, um, yeah,
Although I did find that line, the Guardians of the Independence.
Yes, knowing damn well that worked both ways because
Uh,
it was a dig at, or supposed to be a dig at Dave for being, Guardians of the Galaxy, but who the hell is the Guardian of the Independence? Triple H.
uh, there was also Hunter still giving a little dig at the Independence because
Yes, but you
Hunter can't help himself. It's
you want it? You want it? Yeah, I want it, but my rules, my rules. It's my time, my way. Like it just, and, oh, okay, it'll be your way, but it's gonna be my way. So it's a no holds barred match. Like seriously, it sounded like a bad porno script.
at least they're giving them the no holds barred stipulation because it means they're not really going to wrestle, and there's going to be enough smoke and mirrors here to make it entertaining.
So most Triple H WrestleMania matches since.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I mean, we all
I'm
know
fine.
what's going to happen. Batista's going to rip off the ring post from the very ground, trying to get to the ring, and then Batista's going to fall all the way from the balcony.
I kind of want to see him do it.
If Batista doesn't come out in full group, like that's a waste. Like full on, just no parts. I brought a tree, bitch.
Just beating him with a fucking tree. Uh, yeah. Uh, I'm fine with this. I honestly am.
Yeah, at
Because,
least they're not facing other people.
right, this is contained between Hunter and Batista because Batista wants Hunter in his
Just give
retirement
me what
match.
I want.
Yeah. Oh god, that song's gonna be stuck in my fucking head the rest of the night. Thank you very much.
And it's going to be in his voice.
Yes, which makes it even worse. Sidebar: who's the best looking Spice Girl? I'm going Baby Spice.
Uh, Scary Spice.
I'll go with
Yeah,
Scary as well.
Mel B aged well.
AA.
Never followed the Spice Girls.
So yeah, that's a little bit out of her generation, sir.
Sir. No, it's not. She just didn't follow him.
Oh, because they were. And Victoria Beckham continues her transformation into a pencil. I don't understand it. Um,
So
huh,
let's move on. Kurt Angle announces that his retirement match will be WrestleMania 35,
mm-hmm.
and because he's also from Pittsburgh. Unlike Elias, who's from Pittsburgh, shat all over the crowd. Kurt Angle embraced it and got a lot of thank yous and stuff, but announced his farewell match will be at WrestleMania, and he wanted to have one more match in front of his hometown there in Pittsburgh. And what just who could pop the crowd more to answer his last match in front of his hometown? Who could possibly get just everybody on their feet and shit in their pants? Apollo Cruz.
Oh
I
god, that
actually
was.
liked it for many reasons for Apollo and Kurt.
Yeah, they could have gotten someone other than Apollo Crews. And I understand they probably just wanted to get him on TV, but they really could have done something a little bit bigger for that moment. But I won't kill it too much because it's less about the match and more about the retirement announcement.
Right. And the match wasn't that bad. I don't know what I was expecting, but um, hey, Apollo got TV time, and he got to face Kurt Angle finally, and that kind of stuff. So, but that was supposedly his last match in front of a Pittsburgh audience. So,
You know what would have been cool, but I understand they had different plans. Had they had Roman answer the call, to have Roman go out there, but I understand why they didn't do it for multiple reasons. But I just think that would have been cool.
well, since everybody's saying like, or not everybody, but some people with this farewell match, like put him against Cena. That's Cena debut match was against
Kurt,
Kurt.
Kurt yeah. Yeah, to me, it has to be Cena, and we talked about this last night because I wanted to
Yeah,
touch on it. But yeah, to me, it has to be Cena and Mania, and I will be upset if it's anybody else.
and that's another match that gets to him out of the way at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
But then that's going to be like
which leaves
2, 3 matches with purely part timers. And I just don't know if that's a good look.
It's Mania. It's a 7.5 hour show. This stuff's going to happen.
and I'm
Like,
fine with the part timers versus part timer stuff. It's the part timers against the not so or the not part timers and the quote unquote future stars losing. Like I've said for years, you're gonna do part timer stuff. Put a part timer against a part timer, and for no other
yeah, I mean,
reason, you're gonna see like, okay, this is why their part timers are retired, or because they're not that good anymore. Leave the cool stuff and the neat stuff to the new kids.
if a part timer wants to come in and do business with one of the current crop, they need to be coming in and say, I want to come in and work with so and so I can put them over. That's the only way it's acceptable. Outside of that, you need to keep the part time stuff contained to its own thing.
Like on
Even
the
when
WWE
like Triple
Network.
H put, go ahead.
Repeat yourself there, Matt.
Like on the WWE Network. If I want to see Batista Triple H, I can just go and watch Vengeance 2005.
Well,
I understand that feeling, but to me, as long as the part time stuff isn't going away. But I think this is the last Mania where we will see it being a major focus of the show. And the reason why I say that is Batista's retiring, Hunter doesn't want to wrestle anymore. Uh,
and oh, you used a perfect major part of the show. That's what is the most um important to me. These aren't the major points of the show. These
yes.
aren't. Dave Batista and Triple H aren't gonna headline. Um, that's not where they still are leaving focus on the current talent. These matches just happen to be happening.
Right. But I think really the I don't see
John Cena versus Kurt Angle, if it happens, it's not gonna main
yes.
event. It's not gonna, you
That
know,
might be a cool down match. I mean, if at most was we're getting three part-time matches here, and only one of them is going to involve current talent, and that's probably going to be whatever they do with the women's tag team championships, I can't hate that because it's segmented and it.
now now we just have to get to Undertaker. Guys,
Well,
forgive me. Keep talking amongst yourselves. I'm gonna make a phone call real quick. I will be back in just a minute, but keep discussing. If nobody has the card pulled up, next we go to the main event of where it's supposed to be Roman versus Corbin. We end up getting Drew versus Dean, and that's the what ends the show. I'll leave you with that and let you guys know that's what happened, or that's what the story was, and let you guys talk about that. And I'll be back in just a little bit.
okay.
Cool.
So this the show, like he says, the show ends. We're supposed to get is coming in the main event. We're supposed to get Roman and Corbin, but they switch it out. There's pretty much a beat down. Man, this thing looked like a hellacious kind of street fight. The villain looks like it really never even began. Dean was on the receiving end of another ass kicking. Um,
Yeah, what is the reason behind doing that, Dean, having him always be on the wrong end?
makes him a sympathetic character. I, I think it's also they're still wanting to run something with Dean at Mania, and I think this is this them trying to get to that.
I think so
Like
as well,
Mox,
maybe.
uh, let me, because I want to make sure I don't miss something here. Yeah, they had a false count anywhere match. Um, Reynold's no DQ. It was kind of what they did was they kind of had Ambrose kind of step in the line here for Roman, and it, they wanted to do one thing. They did. They for some reason I think they wanted to get sympathy heat, sympathy building for the Shield guys, and make them look vulnerable going down this road to Mania. But I mean, it looked like a false count anywhere match. Hell, they even McIntyre stabbed Dean in the eye with a pencil.
John Wick style.
No, if they did that, he'd be dead.
True.
Is to me, it's. I mean, by all accounts, it's fun. It was fun. I mean, they beat the shit out of each other. That's the kind of thing you want to see out of a falls count anywhere match. But it rings kind of hollow to me because I don't care how much heat you try to give to Drew McIntyre, he doesn't retain heat. He's bland. And people are going to root for Dean and Roman and all that,
Yeah,
no matter
sentimental.
what.
Yes, sentimental rooting.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to. I understand they're trying to build to something, but the build almost falls flat when you know what the people's reactions are going to be. Like, do you foresee? Or let me ask you this, Allie. Let me put it like this: are the fans going to care any more or less about Dean Ambrose as the result of taking this beating on Raw?
No, they're all going to care the same.
I mean, we know how the crowd feels about Dean.
They love Dean.
Right. So, are they going to love him more because he got his ass kicked? I mean, is that going to elicit a more enthusiastic response for Dean
And when
than
he
had
beats,
they? Go ahead.
yeah, it will. It's
I
when he
just think,
finally gets Drew.
but do people care if he gets a Drew? I mean, that's kind of my thing. Is Drew's been so static, so flat that I don't know if there's a way you can make Drew, too many D's, McIntyre. I just don't think people are going to care. Because if they are going to do Ambrains versus, Team Blah at Mania, the crowd is going to pop for Rollins and Ambrose, Reigns and
Reigns and
Ambrose,
Ambrose.
and they're probably just going to hear crickets when the other two guys come out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a build to be had here. It's basically my point. Matt? Let me get you in here. What did you think of False Count Anywhere, McIntyre,
Um,
Ambrose?
I thought it was a really good match. I know a lot of people were speculating that it felt like a write-off for Ambrose, which I don't necessarily think is the case. But other than that, I thought it was a really good match.
Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna kill the match because it looked like a hellacious match, and you want to, if you're gonna do False Count Anywhere, you need to go out there and take a beating, get a little dirty. But I just don't know if we're gonna get a colossal build or anything going into this because the people feel how they feel um, already. So I don't know if it's going to elicit the responses they want because the responses are already so great for the baby faces here. But but that's just me. Maybe I'm being overly critical. I don't know. I know he's still away, but Matt, what grade would you give Monday Night Raw? And Matt walked away. Um,
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. What do you have an overall grade or an overall opinion about this past Raw?
Um, it was just kind of run of the mill, really. Like there wasn't really anything all that special about it. I didn't think.
All I'll say about Raw is Sorry. Anything right now involving the Shield is going to get my attention because we all know what the end of this road is. So the farewell address, kind of, and the beat down and the false count anywhere, that all, it does make me, want to see more Shield. But then again, I think I always do. I mean, because they're good at what they do, and I enjoy watching them. But everything outside of that is just a giant meh. So I know Mox is away. So do you guys want to go to SmackDown, or do you want to do something while Mox is away from us and leave SmackDown for when he comes back?
Let's move on into SmackDown. We can catch him up.
So, yesterday's SmackDown. Let me. I promise I'm not doing this on the fly. I'm totally lying.
You wouldn't do something like that.
Oh, no, not me. Oh, wow, that wasn't what I thought it was. Hold on. I was kind of hoping I'd get a little something more. Here we go. So, the show opens on SmackDown with everybody's favorite McMahon, Shane. Who am I kidding? There isn't a favorite McMahon. He does this spot with the ring announcer because he's not announcing Shane as the best in the world to his liking. And I just can't care about Shane McMahon. You can't make me care about Shane McMahon, WWE.
He's a McMahon.
I know, that's mostly why I don't give a damn. But he cuts a promo where basically the promo is he's tired of everyone around him trying to get something out of him. That everyone just wants something from him, whether it's the people in the back or people in his real life, trying to just see what they can take from him.
Yeah.
And he says he's not the best in the world because he was born that way. He said he wasn't the best of the world. He's not the best of in the world because he won a trophy or became tag champs. He's the best of the world because he was born that way. And at this point, I'm wanting to jam a fork in my ear because I just want it to stop. He said Miz's father has a baked potato face. Then he challenges Miz to the match at Mania. So we're going to get Miz, Shane at Mania. And tell me, how excited is everybody for Miz, Shane McMahon at Mania?
I'm not.
Happening.
I mean, I know you're looking forward to it, Matt.
I mean, and Shane wasn't exactly wrong. People wanted to get stuff out of him. Miz was literally doing that the past several months. Miz even admitted to it. I just cannot see Shane as a heel here.
I can. It's pretty easy. It's because I hate him. No, hate's a strong word. I'm tired of McMahon's on my television. So Aleister Black comes out pretty much after that promo, and the cuts to break, and we're coming back to um, an 8-man tag match of Aleister Black and Ricochet with the Hardy Boys taking on Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, and The Bar. And there was some good stuff in here.
Yeah.
What did you like about this one, Matt?
I just thought the match overall. That was a fun little TV match.
A lot of spots. Um, uh, making guys look good. No, there's no finish here because you know. And then New Day, the Jeff goes to hit the Swanton Bomb. He nails it. Everyone breaks up the pen, and it's just a brawl. The New Day come down and start trying to clear the ring. So there's no finish, which I think is smart. You don't need, if you're in this position, you don't need a definitive winner or loser. You just need people to look good because you need to figure out what the hell the Usos are doing at Mania. And one of these teams are probably going to be put in that spot. So we'll see what happens. New Day clear the ring, kind of. Xavier Woods takes out Sheamus. Trouble in Paradise for Kofi Kingston. Their music hits. Then the Usos are backstage. That was a pretty damn good promo from the Usos. They're basically asking who's going to step up to the plate, who's going to be that tag team. I wouldn't be shocked to see it being the Hardys to give us a dream match, kind of. Although I'm sure they've wrestled before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Hardys and Usos have wrestled. I don't think.
So they may go dream match here, Hardys, Usos, and Mania. But I think there's a lot. We have a lot to flesh out between now and then. And then after the Usos promo, we have Randy Orton mic time. And I'll be honest, this is one of Randy's better promos in a while. Because they decided to lean into everything. There's a difference between what Randy did with this promo and what Ronda's been doing with hers. You can shoot a little bit, but you can't be so destructive that it kills everything you're trying to do. Randy Orton's line here, he talked about AJ Styles. How this is the house AJ Styles built. But in 2002, AJ was wrestling for $10 a night in a high school gymnasium in front of 10 people while Randy was making his debut. 2004, he was shaking his hands with opponents in bingo halls, aka he was talking about Ring of Honor. And Orton became the youngest WWE champion. And then the money line here is AJ was down in Florida getting a tan with Dixie Carter while Randy Orton was wrestling Undertaker at WrestleMania after WrestleMania. And then he says, this isn't the house that AJ Styles built. This is the house that Randy Orton built. Great line, because not everyone's going to get what he meant, because I doubt everyone in that crowd knew who Dixie Carter was. Is, not was. Sorry, didn't mean in the past tense. But oh, Mox is
Uh,
back. Hi.
then Dixie Carter, wasn't it the actress from Designing Women?
No,
Feel good about yourself. It. I guess with Mox coming back, I'll leave. I want to get him back into everything here. The only things you've been.
I'm trying. Time out. Why did AA flat out say no?
because you're thinking of the wrong Dixie Carter. Same name, but one was an. It was a different actress.
No, AA, I love you to death, and I just got off an emotional call, so I love you even more. But that was the joke.
Oh, okay.
Whoosh. Mox. Oh,
And I literally, like, anybody can see me. Like, I put my hand like that was, yes, Dixie Carter from TNA is not Dixie Carter from Designing Women, but hey, it was a yes, folks. Like Dolph Ziggler, I'll be here all night making bad jokes, like night after night. So,
yeah, but you're not getting paid for it. So who's the sucker?
sir, words hurt,
I'm sorry.
but yes, AA,
So
that was my. They have the same name. They're spelled differently, but no. Anyway, that was my joke with Dixie Carter's. Anywho,
So, Mox, all you missed was that we talked about was the Shane McMahon promo. Any thoughts about Shane McMahon? That
Shane
answers my
McMahon
question.
promo. Yeah, Shane McMahon promo that talks about Shane McMahon. Hmm.
So you don't want to talk about it?
It's this
It's a
ties
thing.
back into when I left about the WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
attitude
Yeah.
era people. Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. And we also got into the 8-man tag match. Hardy's and Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev Day, and the Bar. That 8-man tag. Did you have any thoughts about that?
And just a weird. When I say weird, like we're 3 weeks from Mania. Like, I guess this is what they're gonna have to do to get there. That's about my only thoughts on it.
And the Usos promo challenging the team to step up. What did you take from that promo as a possibility of any hints leading us to that conclusion down the road?
As far as any team,
Yeah. They basically, I mean, they named some teams and they really kind of leaned into the Hardys in the promo. But do you think we'll get Usos Hardys at Mania, or do you think that's just a tease to the fans?
I think the Usos will be at Double or Nothing facing the Young Bucks.
Right. Not any tag team.
Well, sir. Yeah, it's probably Hardy's Usos.
And you came back right as we were talking about Randy Orton and the AJ Styles Randy Orton promo battle.
Hear voices in my head.
They came
Mine
from
speaking
me.
Spanish.
Well, no wonder you don't get help. You can
Exactly.
barely speak English.
It,
And that ties back into the joke I made earlier in the daily because I actually do callbacks. Hire me, WWE, you cowards.
Uh-huh. So
Outside.
here,
Gotta go outside.
so we heard what Randy had to say. Basically, no, this is my house. AJ Styles is nothing but an indie guy who's lucky to have made it here. I'm the guy who's been here, and making a name for myself. And AJ comes back with hey, you should know a lot about my career for someone who doesn't like the indies. Uh, saying that he couldn't make it on the indies because his intro pose sucked and he had a knockoff diamond cutter, which I think is
The
fantastic.
the knockoff diamond cutter was a great line because we've been saying it for years. That's an RKO. That's a knockoff diamond cutter.
Outside.
Oh, it feels so good. Orton asks if he's saying face to face, man to man, that he and his indie pals never ripped anybody off before making a too sweet, which, again, great line. Styles talks about how everyone backstage is pretty much from the indies, and they didn't go to their father to get them a job. Oh, this actually is making me a little happy.
I mean, Monday and Tuesday, like they like whatever you want to call it, like, it's all at work. But using the shoot stuff so much, like, okay then.
I mean, the difference, like I said this before you came back, there's a difference between what the Styles Orton promo segment
Yeah,
and the
let,
Ronda promo segment.
well, I was referring to the Triple H Dave, but also the
Yes,
right. Yeah, like
yes, that too.
there's a right way to do it, and then there's a wrong way to do it, and SmackDown did the right way. Because Ronda doing quote unquote shoot promos, just Ronda doing any promo basically. No, thank you. Um, the Triple H Batista promo again. Um, if my TV was any louder, like my neighbors, I don't have neighbors that live out in, but you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Damn, they're watching porn. But the
No,
age,
just two grown men.
hey, two grown men can be in porn.
I was trying to make a dead. Never mind.
Yes.
The promo continued with uh, you want to talk about a career, AJ. Randy's first year, he had stroke from Triple H, the cunning of Ric Flair, the muscle of Batista, all to make sure he didn't fail. Orton says he's accomplished more by 24 than anyone in the industry had dreamed of accomplishing. Orton goes into his, this is everything I've done. AJ, again, another great comeback. He reminds him of Evolution and Legacy and Rated RKO and the Wyatt family. And it sounds like to him, Orton had a lot of babysitters. What it this works because it feels kind of shooty, but
it
it's not.
works because it's not wrong.
Right. Nothing he said here is factually incorrect. So Orton says that he doesn't get a choice because he's the landlord and rent's due, you son of a bitch. And you can make that check after the most destructive three letters in sports entertainment. What, VKM? Anybody got those?
Oh, that's gonna.
He said RKO. I said
I,
VKM.
I, I know, but since you brought that up like that, like what's the most destructive letters you can use? Oh, we're let's don't dive it, but guys, keep that in the back of your head of what's the worst three letters. Oh,
Uh, Randy drops the mic, walks away. Uh, um, AJ, says if he wants his rent, he can come and take it. Points to the Mania sign because that's what everyone does. And then they do the Harlem Heat package, which yay. Asuka makes her entrance and she's wrestling Sonya Deville after the break. Not a lot to talk about with this match.
It really wasn't.
except
It was
for
pretty much the same as what happened at Fastlane.
yeah, but in reverse. Please, WWE, Paul Heyman, I know you're listening. Please push Sonya Deville. Please.
And then after that match, those two girls from Australia cut a promo.
Shit.
Those just aren't any two girls, Adam. They are the Iconics. Boston Hug have
Thank you.
been the Iconics. They've been avoiding the Iconics. They're scared of the Iconics.
There's no way I
Oh,
can hit the off button. So
oh,
there's
thank you.
two.
I needed that.
So those
You could
good
have
two.
enhanced it a little bit by two random Australian women.
They cut a promo. They call out, you know, Bailey and Sasha. For reasons I don't know. They don't want that smoke, everybody. They don't want it. So after the two random girls got done talking into a camera, uh, a real honest to God star comes out, and Becky Lynch. Eh,
Real quick, because last week they tweeted that they're waiting for Sasha, hashtag SDL Live and whatever. They tweeted that they're waiting, and they didn't get on TV, and so I don't know. I think it was Sasha quote tweeted like, "We didn't see you there either."
Oh God, I love giving them shit. It's so funny. Um, but Becky comes out on that damn crutch.
Why are we still doing this? Oh, if we're bringing up Becky and the crutch in this angle, obligatory. We've already done it once, but might as well do it. Matt, you have the floor.
What, Matt? Go ahead and give us your take on the Becky promo here on SmackDown.
It was really good.
Why the hell is she still
Riveting.
coming out on a crutch?
Well, she actually ended up throwing the crutch away.
So is she not injured anymore?
I mean, she's still walking out with a limp, but I don't think she really needs a crutch anymore.
Walking out with a limp like a
No,
pimp,
no,
eating
sir.
Papa Do's, sitting on shrimp.
No, no, sir.
God, they've ruined this story so bad.
Are you surprised?
Actually, and I'll be honest with this, yeah, kinda, because they've turned this into a hot, has to be main event to put it on the pre-show for all I care. Honestly.
Becky, Becky comes out and talks about walking down into the ramp on her own 2 feet. Everyone got brave when she was suspended, hurt, unsuspended, arrested, and then disqualified. That's all the twists and turns. Suspended, hurt, unsuspended, arrested, disqualified, right into the biggest match of her career. Boy. And she points out correctly that she set this match into motion and she's had to earn her way into the match twice. Again, devaluing the initial Rumble win. They've managed to kill the Royal Rumble.
Next week, I want Becky to come out on a wheelchair with her leg in a cast prop and just go full Kevin Nash with it.
Stand up. Oh.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania. Let that be her entrance, all the way down the ramp.
Oh, that would be
You know,
fun because she wouldn't have to, wheel very far, and the
Yeah.
momentum will carry her to the ring.
Yeah, just one push and she get to the ringside and that's basically how bad this story's gone. Like, go ahead and go full bad with it.
And she said Ronda ended up doing her work for her, and she'll repay the little weirdo by taking her title and ripping her arm on her from Mania.
The same shit we've been hearing.
Uh-huh. And then Charlotte comes out. Congratulates Becky for making it into her main event, and says while she was off getting suspended and arrested, she's been putting on the work and her resume speaks for itself. It's one thing to be hot for 6 months, but Flair's been hot for 4 years. I'm gonna push back a little on that, but she's a heel.
Where's the disagree button? Disagree.
And she says no matter how hard Becky tries to spin it, she got a handout. And she's never seen someone do so little while taking credit for so much. And that's why she's going to make her and Ronda relevant again when they bow down to the Queen. Any response there, Matt?
Not really. I mean, just it was what it was.
Hey, what do you make of the little back and forth here between Becky and Charlotte and how they're still trying to keep this thing going into Mania?
I thought it was pretty good. I think they're doing the best they can with what they've been given.
Matt gets his A's and M's confused.
I hear that. Allie, please continue.
Wait, what?
Allie, I asked Allie. Allie, please go ahead.
Okay, see if I can get back on my train of thought here, because I was listening to Matt and I like Matt's train of thought, but they need someone to write for Ronda. She's ruined it with the Twitter game. She doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah, I could almost say let's keep everyone apart until Mania, because I know there's nothing left that needs to be done or said. So let's keep everyone apart and let's get into Mania and get to this. Because if they talk anymore or do anymore, they risk killing this even more. And the corpse is already cold.
It's already gone to the medical school.
Yeah, it's a cadaver at this point. So after the promo war between Charlotte and Becky, We cut to the back. Daniel Bryan comes out of Vince's office with Eric Rowan. And Bryan says that what they were talking about with Vince was about Kofi. And he thought Vince needed to hear his honest opinion. And he says Vince booked him in a match against Mustafa Ali and Kevin Owens. And he walks away. Rey Mysterio's music hits. Tag match after the break. And we have Almas and Samoa Joe. I know that isn't his name, but I'm not just going to call him Andrade. Almas and Samoa Joe versus R-Truth and Rey Mysterio. And again, these four guys have chemistry. I'm not going to say they don't. But why are we doing a tag match?
Teddy Long's back, playa.
Clearly. I mean, it was a good tag match. And also, what's with R-Truth doing Cena's stuff?
Best thing ever.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's weird. Andrade doing the Three Amigos is really perfect. It's great heel heat for some reason. But double 619 there towards the end. Up top, Frog Splash. Ray going for the urine. Samoa Joe tries to go for a Uranagi. Mysterio reverses. Roll up, 1, 2, 3. Mysterio pins Joe. Joe gets the Uranagi on Truth. And almost the Vince's frustration. And after that, we start to head into our main event. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan versus Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. At least I think this was the main. Yep. Let me, before I move on, anything about that tag match you guys really want to kind of point out, or these four guys together still? Are they keeping these guys together too long? In terms of having all these.
Dead silence.
Yeah, I mean, I know no one wants to talk about it really because there's nothing really happened. But I just wanted to make sure, in case anybody have any thoughts regarding any of these four guys in this build going into Mania.
Are we talking about the Ali?
No, the U.S. title stuff. Joe
Oh.
and Truth and all them.
Was it Ali in that match? No. Oh, sorry. Disregard me. I'm not here.
Okay, great. So we go into the main. It's Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan versus Owens and Ali. A lot of fun stuff here. I don't know why Eric Rowan's new signature move is the claw slam, but it's odd. Ali is still so fun. I could watch him. Oh, it doesn't matter where he is on the card. That dude is must see TV.
I
Thoughts
agree with
on?
that. Like he's thankfully somebody somewhere. Not that 205 Labs bad, but somebody like, hey, let's put this guy on main roster stuff on national television, because Ali is legit. Like, holy crap.
I like how they're using all these guys in the main event because they're all serving a different purpose. But the real story is the guy who's not in the match. Like, all this is great and all, but we're also thinking about Kofi. So I like how they're playing. They're still rolling with the main event scene because they need to, and they don't need to do it with Kofi because Kofi doesn't need to be in the match.
Right. That's the point.
And I think that's just perfect building. They really, when they realized what they had with this Kofi story, they haven't really messed it up. Things are.
Unlike that other show with that other gender, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but that they royally fucked up. Yeah, they haven't done that yet.
Still 28 days, 27 days. So, you know,
That's
we can.
hence the words yet, because I don't hold anything past them, but yet it's
Uh, Allie, main event on SmackDown. This tag match. What'd you think?
I didn't watch it.
Okay, so let me change up the question. What do you make of all this main event scene with the champ Daniel Bryan and his lackey and Eric Rowan, Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali on top of all this stuff with Kofi? How is all this working for you?
Just as long as I get more Ali.
Um, can't hate that. Matt, I know his mic's muted.
playing it. Oh, his chair's mic's not muted.
Uh,
That chair's gonna make an appearance.
the SmackDown main event and tag match. What did you think of it?
It was pretty good. I mean, it was what it was. Like the tag match earlier, it was just another fun TV main event.
And how are you feeling about all these guys being in this main event picture situation going into Mania?
I think it looks interesting.
You don't think it's too crowded or anything like that?
I don't think so because there's really only one way the main event's going to go for SmackDown.
I swear to fucking God, if you say iconic, I'm gonna.
Well, it wasn't, but now that you mention it, maybe
I
it
hate
should.
you. I hate you, Mox.
um, you don't live that far from me. Um, I know exactly how to get to your town. I'm not that far away, and I know I have pictures of you, and I will post them. I swear, if you
he's
say the
he's
main,
coming for you, Matt.
the main event on SmackDown has anything to do with the Iconics.
But aren't the Iconics always the main event? I'm sorry.
Yes, they are.
I just
You're not
wanted to
worth
get
my
it out of
gas.
the way.
Yeah, you're not worth my gas money getting to you. Matt, on the other hand, is just like a couple hours away.
Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan win, which I'm fine with. Champ needs to retain heat and everything going down the road here. Um, and now it's come time for the Vince McMahon hour. Uh, Vince comes out and says he's going to give Kofi a chance at what he wants.
So, are you saying that the match you just said was the main event wasn't the main event?
The match was the main event for the card. This is the last segment.
Sir, whatever goes on last is the main event.
Sir, don't mince words with me.
sir.
He says
Hope you
tonight.
enjoyed David Beckham trying to catch a football.
Did you say David Beckham?
I damn sure did.
Oh God, you poor thing. Um. So Kofi's only get an opportunity to compete for the WWE Championship in Mania. Tosses to a recap of Fastlane and says people hear what they want to hear, and he didn't do anything he didn't say he was going to do. When he speaks, you better listen, because everything he does is what he calls a teachable moment, and they're extremely important. A 73-year-old man trying to tell me about teachable moments. I know he's a heel, but that's so condescending.
Um, maybe the
Yes, Mars.
73-year-old has gone through 73 years of life and has teachable moments.
Do you think Vince remembers anything from those previous 73 years?
Sir, I did not name names. I'm just.
um, New Day's music hits and no games, and this is what I love. No playing, no games, no shenanigans, no chicanery. They're coming down to the ring as a unit, and they look pissed. They look serious. They're here to do business. Get into the ring, face to face with Vince with that look on his face that
So,
makes us all want to
would
vomit.
you call it a new business day?
Oh wow. I'm gonna have to
Continue.
walk away and ponder that for a second. It really kind of took me off my game there. Uh, and they give Big E the mic first. And let me just say real quick here. Every reason we think Big E could be a heavyweight champion down the road was captured in this moment. He can talk. He
Unlike
has
some
all the
people I know.
tools. Me.
Sir, you said it, not I.
And did you mean Rhonda?
Oh, her too.
Um, Biggie says if he's honest, they're not in the mood to be taught a damn thing. And Xavier Woods chimes in saying that they're done watching what they have to say. E follows with they jump through every hoop, do all the meet and greets, and they never buck the system or threaten to leave. And they still get treated like garbage. And by the way, that is an awesome line.
Yep.
Never buck the system or threaten to leave. I know that is something that was written for them, but that was clearly at least a sideways shot to those people from management.
And I'm gonna have to interject a little bit here. Because they do a lot of stuff on their own. They have, they may have on their own written that and it got approved, but just saying.
I mean I think that I if they did that's pretty ballsy by them.
They've been ballsy for all
I mean
these years.
I'm not saying they haven't. I'm saying that line in particular that because they're such great locker room guys that if they wrote that line, I could see where some people in the locker room would be like, "Now, hey, wait a minute." But it still doesn't change the fact that it's a great line, and
Yeah, like
it
Fake Dannenberg might get all pissed off about it or something.
yeah.
That's a whole different. Go
Yes.
ahead, sorry.
Kofi's been here grinding for 11 years, and he deserves better. Vince follows with Kofi doesn't deserve a damn thing, and neither do the other two, nor the WWE universe, nor himself.
I was waiting for the fucking bomb of Vince saying Kofi doesn't deserve it. and none of you people, like you people, however you want to, like I
You
was
wanted
what I like surely not. Like everybody knows where I'm going with this. You people,
right. I mean, had
like
he said you, had he said you people, it would play into every thought everybody has about Vince McMahon.
and the stock prices would plummet.
Yep.
If he would have come out like by accident or whatever, like Kofi doesn't deserve it, you don't deserve it. In fact, you people, like even if it was a blatant like you three people, New Day, none of you people deserve it. Like holy fuck, like scorch earth that shit.
And so he says he created all this and he doesn't deserve anything. No one deserves anything. Big E says this is bigger than their opinions or the New Day or Vince's damn ego. And Vince says nothing's bigger than his ego. We know, Vince. We know.
I thought his balls might have been bigger, but
Why did you have to say it?
well, he said it on TV.
Just because he said it doesn't mean you have to.
Well,
And now I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to look at a grapefruit for a while. I'm disgusted. What says Vince says nobody deserves, but they deserve because they earned. Kofi's beat WWE champions when they were champion and never got title shots, and that's only one of the many reasons he deserves a match for the championship. Big E follows by saying the WWE Universe is one demand, and that Kingston be given the opportunity to compete for that title. McMahon says he wishes Kofi really did deserve this. He's known him a long time, and if he were worthy of a title match, it would have happened a long time ago. Yes, he's an impressive athlete, and as of late, his performances have been incredible. He's an extraordinary representative of the product, but face it, one day he'll be in the Hall of Fame, but not by himself. The only way he goes in is as part of the New Day, and that he's pretty smart.
to going back to my joke about the you people, if he would have said that, the perfect comeback would have been from Kofi or Big E. Like, yeah, we fucking know. Obviously, without the fucking part. Yeah, we know because of people, of you,
Kind
you
of poor.
people, like flip it.
Yeah, flip it around.
Yeah, but then holy shit, like I'd be off wrestling Twitter for a month.
Vince continues. He says, he's got these young bucks, referring to Big E and Xavier, here to help him
Yeah,
get the glory. He's got a lot going for him, and he's been speaking to Daniel Bryan, who hit it right on the mark. He said, Daniel said Kofi's awesome, but he's a good B plus player. And again, they're leaning into that old. It's such a great line to me because it's reminiscent of the Daniel storyline, and here we have via Vince saying what Daniel said to him, calling Kofi a B plus player. It's recognizing that Daniel's now in the position of the other guy in this situation. It it's great recognition by the company that Kofi's in the Daniel spot and Daniel is in the other on the other side. So to have Daniel via Vince use that B plus player line and attribute it to Daniel, it hits home in a different way,
it
and
worked.
it worked. And once again, I may be reading too much into it, but that's how it came across to me. Uh, Biggie
Master's
and
too busy
Xavier.
playing his game, so it doesn't matter.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
running through
I'm
this
still
real
here.
quick. Uh, uh, I'm running through this real quick, and I'm not really giving anyone a chance to speak, but it's kind of because we've been here a while already.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the Wednesday part of the podcast of independent wrestling, but
Biggie and Xavier got hot, and Kingston holds him up, saying they don't need to get fired for him. Kofi says he's not looking. Sorry. Kofi says he's not asking for a free ride or a handout. No, man. He says 11 years ago he was just a kid with a dream, and that dream damn near come true. He has to travel the world, provide for his family. His life is blessed. He loves it. He said he'd like to think at some point in those 11 years he'd have proved his worth. But Vince doesn't see it that way. He doesn't complain about anything, not about how he shows up week in and week out and busts his ass, while other people are given opportunities. He doesn't complain about that.
well,
He
the
doesn't
only
complain.
knock against Kofi is he has an inverted chest. Like seriously, like what the? No,
That
nobody.
is a weird thing to bring up now, but
I'm just. But you get what I'm like.
yes.
Okay, like
He doesn't complain about being required to being away from his family, missing weddings, birthdays. He's never been trick or treating with his kids, which, if that's true, Jesus, they have to figure out a new schedule. But that's a whole nother podcast. Um, 2 days ago, his son lost his first tooth, and he wasn't there to see the look on his face when he found the money the tooth fairy left for him. He never complains, or that he's about any of this. Or, and here's the money line from the promo from Kofi, that he's never let someone like him contend or compete for the WWE Championship. That's the money line. Because we all know what he means by that. And to spell it out, he's saying Vince has never let a black man that looks like Kofi compete for that title. Because that is the title of everyone who came before. That's the title that means something. So they're playing into this. Mox, you made the joke about you people. But that's actually what they're going for here.
that's why I made it. Well, wasn't
I'm
out of
not.
bounds, but they might as well have said somewhere in there, you people.
They are playing up this angle with a racial quality to it.
And last time they did that, how did Triple H Booker T
I
work out?
know. I know. But at least this point, they're not bringing up somebody's rap sheet. This is Kofi making a legitimate point about African Americans in the WWE Championship and how Vince, over the years, has put so many of them in positions that are either just duds or, I mean, blatantly racist.
Yeah,
And
there's.
they're
Oh my God, I'm not gonna say it on a podcast, but nope.
try to say it. Not say
No,
what
I'm
you're
not.
gonna.
No, because people, they, if I'm gonna say it, nope.
So before we get to how all the
Uh,
to the promo and the setup for what happened after, let me interject here and ask a question.
oh God.
How are you guys feeling about this angle, being that it's not just about Kofi being kept away from the championship. It's that added element of, well, we know why.
Because
And it's
Mustafa Ali got hurt.
not that.
Oh,
I'll come out. I'll come out and say it.
oh, dude!
The
If you're
other,
come out if you want to come out.
not that either. Uh, how do you guys react to this being more than just Kofi being kept away from the title, but Kofi being kept away from the title for so long because of the racial element that is perceived by a lot of people being fans looking for on from the outside, because that's what they're leaning into. There's a racial element to this angle. How does that sit with you guys?
It doesn't sit well with me. It's it's just adding fuel to the fire that's already out there.
Even though I mean, like I said, they haven't come out and said it, which is why it's working on screen, because they're not directly saying it. Well, Kofi did with that money line in the promo, but I could see where someone's gonna have a problem with it. Who that person is, I don't know. I mean, Ali just said it herself, but other people are going to have a problem with it. Matt, how are you feeling about all this stuff with Kofi?
I mean, they are walking a pretty fine line here. And it really all depends on if Kofi goes over at WrestleMania.
I won't book it, but I'd say if they don't let Kofi win at Mania, oh, there's going to be some feelings out there on the social media. Mox, I know you didn't want to say something, something a little out there, but how are you regarding to Kofi and everything they're doing here? What's your reaction to it?
I want hashtag capital KO. So we get Kevin Owens. Fear. Hashtag Kofi Mania.
I mean, we're going to get Kofi Mania. I think we all agree on that. But Vince on TV has stacked the deck against Kofi.
Did you see my tweet? My message?
I think I did.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, looky. All right. It
That I can't stand that shit.
it. So here we have Vince. And Randy Orton comes out. Vince says all he has to do is beat Orton, and then
Are we
Samoa
still
Joe.
on fucking SmackDown?
Oh yeah, because after the promo, Vince brings out Orton, brings out Samoa Joe, brings out the Bar, and then Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. And Vince says Kofi has to beat all of them in a gauntlet match next week, and he's in at Mania. And then the heels hit the ring. New Day fight him off. Cesaro, they stand and stare at Vince and Bryan. Cesaro comes back in. Cesaro eats Trouble in Paradise, and then SmackDown goes off the air. So next week we're going to get a gauntlet match. Kofi versus Orton, Samoa Joe, The Bar, Eric Rowan, and Daniel Bryan. And that'll probably be the order if Kofi beats each guy. I think we're all pretty sure Kofi's going to win here. At least I think so. But again, the story is that Kofi has to work twice as hard to get to his goal than others have had. And I know some people might say, well, this is just apologize. Vince stacking the deck like he normally does. But it feels different because of what the story they're telling.
Yeah.
So
It's not quite as bad. Like as far as degrees go, like they've telling a couple whole lot worse stories.
oh yes.
But like,
Yes.
whoa! Before you, I have something to say. It's not the worst story, because they're living proof that on that other show, my God, how do you?
I mean, like you said, this isn't Triple H and Booker, where they where they went too far and brought up
And,
Booker T's arrest.
and it's not even that they. Okay, granted, they went too far. The fucking result of the match, like everything would be not everything, but 99% of it would be okay if Booker went over. Brought all that shit up, and Booker still didn't go over.
Right. Or how about even more recently, when they had Rusev cut the racist promo? Was it Rusev? Was it Rusev about Shinsuke?
It was gender.
Gender. It was Gender about Shinsuke. Gender cuts a racist promo on SmackDown, and Gender still goes over. They've done this before, where they bring race into something. What I like about this is, on the surface, it's Kofi trying to overcome Vince. And it's your average, not average, but your very paint by numbers guy trying to prove it. Vince keeps holding them down, and they'll finally overcome it later on down the road.
And I don't want to say by default, and when I say the man, Matt, please stop. Um, this is, um, and this is nothing racially. This is the little man trying to overcome the man. This is, am I making sense? Like
Yes.
this is like way like low on the totem pole. Might not even be shown on the totem pole. Like it's trying to overcome the man.
Preconceived notions and all that. You're not the guy and all that stuff. But like you said, I think there's two stories being told, and it's two separate stories that are resonating with different parts of the audience. And I've seen that
Vince has got a
firsthand.
touch.
Yep.
And what's the second one?
Vince hasn't been the most, how do I say, forward thinking when it comes to race in America. And if you don't think that's what the two stories are, you're not looking hard enough. Because people are reacting to that. So Matt said it best. They are walking a fine line, but I don't think there's a better way to walk it than with the guy you have here in Kofi, who everybody loves so much. That
That
even if you,
and compound that with he has Xavier and Big E, and as a unit, New Day. Like it's not just Kofi by himself. It kind of is, but when you put the three of them together, the charisma and what they bring, like it's like more of a force than just Daniel Bryan 2014 and the
yeah,
B plus players. Like it's no, we're not standing for it. It again. I know we're good, but
no, I know. I get what you're saying. It's more than just Daniel being the underdog and not being looked upon as a main event caliber guy by the company. It's Kofi being there so long. And we know he was supposed to have this opportunity a long time ago. And forces
thank
out.
you, Randy. Thank
Well,
you, Randy.
uh, and
I
that
didn't
was.
mean that in like a
I know you were being
celebrating
sarcastic.
kind of way. Yeah.
Um, we know he was supposed to have that time years ago. So this is more about having the culmination of this career.
Right. It's not about, but it all aligns of the career, the the shit he's gone through with raise your hand, which I'm sure everybody's gonna raise it. Jamaican Kofi,
Jamaican Kofi, yeah.
like all the
Jamaican Kofi,
like, and
and then
everybody, every Royal Rumble, every single one since what 2008. Who's excuse me. It was, what's Kofi going to do this year? And now it's even transitioned to who's going to do the Kofi spot.
yeah, it's become a spot named for him. It's
And
it's it's this.
let's not even get into the Money in the Bank ladder matches and just like, dude, he's literally given his all for you and deserved and what do the right thing, reward him.
Yes, and that'll be what it comes down to. No matter what your reading of this storyline is, and I think everybody's point of view on this is valid because wrestling is subjective. You can get something out of a storyline that somebody else won't get out of it. But everyone will agree that this is more than just a gold watch run. This is a rewarding of somebody who's done literally everything you asked.
And never wavered. Never wavered.
He was never going to be a guy who was going to leave to go to TNA or Ring of Honor. He was always going to be a WWE guy. And here we are at a point in his career where we thought this wasn't possible. And here we are at the doorstep of it being a possibility. That's a guy you can root for. That's a guy you can believe in.
And
And on
I'm gonna be. I've said earlier in the daily, I'm not a holler and don't raise. Well, actually, I say I don't raise my voice. Motherfuckers, you put the title on Gender fucking Mahal
Mhm.
because you're going to Saudi or the KSA and trying to make some money. Quit being a bitch. Put the fucking title on a black person, and specifically here, Kofi Kingston, and fucking go with it. Don't put it on him for, oh, he loses it the next SmackDown. Don't fucking do that shit. I don't care really how, if he loses it next pay per view. I don't give a fit. Just do the right thing here. Put the title on Kofi and go from there. You did it with fucking Jinder for your oil money, your blood money. Fucking do it here for we, and I speak as a minority, the fucking people.
Yeah, it's time. It's just pure time. I don't. It's
And for
just
no other
it's
reason.
and for no other reason to give us that moment at Mania. And I know that's
That's
shallow.
that's what I said. For no other reason, give us that moment. Even if he did lose it, the following SmackDown, give us that.
Although, could you
Fucking
imagine
cowards.
it? Exactly.
Fucking cowards.
And with that, I'm gonna let you guys talk about the this past weekend in the Independence because I'm gonna head to bed.
Son of
Uh,
a bitch.
sorry. Um, I will say
See,
though,
this is why I don't raise my voice because people leave.
no, it's not because of you. It's because it's 11:30 on my time on the East Coast. Um, I will
Woof.
say this. Hey, yeah, I know. Hey, Matt, I need you to unmute for a second. Now that Stokely Hathaway has been signed by the WWE, are you a little concerned that they may be coming after Serena De La Renta?
You gotta
Um,
say it in his voice.
honestly, I actually kind of hope that she does come to WWE one day.
Oh, before you leave, Matt, say it. Say it the
Say
way
it.
you say it.
Selena De La Renta.
I'm super excited for Big Stoke, but because I think they might be going back to managers. Even though I know he's a trained wrestler, I think they might be going back, might be using managers again. And if they are, I could totally see them having Miss De La Renta on their radar. And that would just be another person to leave MLW, and I don't know if Matt will know what to do with himself. I just had to get that dig in. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. These guys will continue to give you the news about Rocky Mountain Pro and Major League Wrestling, MLW, and any other independent news that has come down the pike in the recent days. So please stay tuned and keep listening. My name is Adam Rice. You can find me at PWFan01 on Twitter to argue with me about any of my takes tonight because we all know they were probably shitty. Or just send your
Just
horrible
like the
brown.
Browns.
See? 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 They put up with this shit. You can also find me at khseats.com in the daily and the nightly. Again, I'm there for your amusement. I'll dance like a monkey. I don't care. I'm at your disposal. Thanks again, everyone, for listening and having me on. Of course, as you know, this really isn't my show. I don't know why they keep giving me a key to get in. They're crazy for doing it. I hope you guys have a good rest of the show and have a wonderful evening.
You
I'm
have
out.
get some good sleep.
I'll try. And enjoy that weather, Allie. Keep
Oh
enjoying that
yes, I'm
weather.
really enjoying it a lot.
Have a good night, everybody. I'm out.
And I am snowed in. Hee hee. Anyone here still with me?
I'm still here. I don't know where Mox went.
I don't either. But I'm snowed in.
Man.
We can't get the cars out of the garage because of
Whoa.
the snow drift. So what's going on in MLW or MOW?
Well, I haven't had the chance to watch it this past weekend.
You're falling down on the job.
Yeah. It's been really busy. But they've announced a few matches for Rise of the Renegades on April 4th. Minoru Tanaka versus Daga. And we also got a few Battle Riot competitors: Low Key, Brian Pillman Jr., Ace Austin, Ken Curvis. All have been entered into the Battle Riot. So I wasn't able to watch it, but I do have the results here. And Contra ends up interfering during Simon Gotch and Ace Romero. And they ended up stabbing Ace Romero with a railroad spike, apparently.
Oh, cool.
And then something troubling happened because Mance Warner ended up spilling his light beer all over Salina Violeta.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound like it turned out too well.
And he ended up getting in a fight with El Hijo de LA Park later on in the show. And also Ace Austin defeated DJZ in a Battle Riot qualifying match. And Alexander Hammerstone versus Isaiah Velasquez. So it looked like a decent episode of MLW. I'll definitely have to watch it sometime this week.
Well, at least it's something that you want to watch.
Yeah.
Let's see, in RMP, they did a benefit this past Saturday at the Pepsi Center. They actually got to get into the Pepsi Center and wrestle. It was after the lacrosse game, but they still had a decent crowd. I'd say about 30 people or more. A lot of them stayed after a lot of them came, sat through the lacrosse game just to get to the wrestling. And I went to my first lacrosse game and I found out lacrosse is pretty boring. For some reason, they let lacrosse players get away with stuff that hockey players can't get away with. But hockey is more interesting than lacrosse. And I don't know why. I just can't get into lacrosse. I found it boring. I was on my cell phone most of the night during the lacrosse game. But it was a charity function, so it was worth the price of the ticket. But the wrestling, we had there's just a couple of matches. There was the tag team match. The Triumphant went against the most funnest tag team on the planet. And the most fun is tag team 1, which means they should have won back at Supercharged 2 and kept their belts. They shouldn't have lost the belts, but that's neither here nor there. Then Atiba got his rematch against Anaya. Anaya retained the belt, beat the holy crap out of Atiba. But he cleans up nice. He does. He was actually at the beginning when they were walking out and entertaining the fans while they were putting the ring up. He was wearing a suit. He cleans up real nice. Although I'm sure his wife is the one who picked out the suit. Because Allie has taste. But that's about all that happened on RMP. So I think we've got it all covered.
I think so.
And you've got to work tomorrow.
Yep.
So I guess we call it a night, everyone. Have no idea what happened to the Moxie.
Yeah, same here.
Let's see. Let's check something. So guess we'll see everybody next week, next Tuesday. And we'll see what else has come up in the wrestling world. And Matt can go back to cussing at his game. I thought I heard a little cussing there, or a little frustration.
A little bit.
I thought so. Can't fool this old lady. So, good night, everybody.